Welcome to the DNA show.
DNA? Dude, are we doing a science show?
No, D is for Dennis.
Oh, A is for Andy.
And N is for and?
Oh, man, nerds. Because we're
yeah.
nerds, dude.
Yeah. Well, good. Then we can talk about comics and movies and pop culture and sports.
Sports and nerds. Yeah, we're going to make that work.
All right, let's roll.
Well, Heidi-ho, welcome back to the Dennis and Andy show. I'm Andy with my good buddy.
This is Dennis. Welcome back, everybody.
So it's that time that, I actually thought going into this football season, I would be excited to talk about my fantasy team come, the end of the football weekend. I'd be excited to talk about the Cowboys. And I'm not. That's all I can say is I'm not. It's, my fantasy team got their ass kicked again. I've now dropped down. I lost. I guess I should go into my loss points. I blew it 131 to 112. Obviously, I was the 112. That knocked me down to 8 out of 10. Dennis, here's the positive spin on you in fantasy football. And I know you're thinking, there's a positive spin on my fantasy football, but there is. You are holding steady at number 10.
Correct. And I get first draft choice next season.
You're like the Jets.
I'm telling you, yes. I got my butt handed to me this week. Of course, I've got Dalton. He got knocked out. 3 of my guys wound up getting knocked out. They gave me 0 points. 0 points for 3. You just can't win doing it. I mean, it's just been a horrific season. Worst fantasy season I have ever had in my entire life. And the only redeeming quality that I can see for this season is that my pack got back on the winning track. And that's kind of what I have to hope out for this football season. It has just been horrendous. So, yeah, I need another quarterback.
I know. So have you looked yet? Or?
Well, actually, Chad offered me a trade. He's offering me Garoppolo. And I had picked up somebody. And I'm like, yeah, but none of them are good. It's not like Garoppolo's getting a lot of points. So I'm going to sit down and look at it. And we'll kind of figure it out. But yeah, but he wants my good receiver, my only decent receiver that I've got, and we'll see. I have to just sit down and kind of weigh out pros and cons here. I might just chalk this season up to it's done is done.
What's done is done. I mean, look, I projected. This is what kills me. So I'm 8th. I'm 2-4-1. My projections for this week are 93 points, and the person I'm playing is projected at 94. And I guarantee I'll lose by more than a point.
Oh, that's right. You're 2-4-1. So you're the exact record as the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, even
who are in first place of your division at 2-4-1.
I assume now that Dalton's out, I don't know how long he's out for. I haven't heard an update yet. But, the third stringer that came in last week wasn't exactly lighting anything on fire. I don't even remember his name for Dallas. But if Dalton's out, he had a concussion. So I don't know. I don't know if he'll be out next week or not. I don't know.
Well, he's got to go through the protocol and see if he passes. If he doesn't pass, it could be a few weeks. We'll have to see how bad it's all we can do. Wait and see how bad it winds up being. So, you've got the Eagles, and then you got Washington and the Cowboys at 2-5, so they're technically a half a game back. Dude, and then you got the Giants are at 1-6, and they're still in the hunt.
We lost. Oh, still in the hunt. We lost to Washington, the football team, 25-3.
I know.
I went into the game not thinking it was a guaranteed win. I'll be honest. I did not think it was a guaranteed win. If Dallas's record was a winning record, if they went into this game, instead of going in 2-4, if they were 4-2, just flopped it, I would have been like, oh, they're going to kick Washington's butt. They went in 2-4. Washington's record was 1-4, 1-5, whatever. And all I'm thinking is, well, they should win. I was like, they should win.
Yep.
I did not expect, and I figured if they lost, it would be by like a field goal. I was like, if they don't win, it'll be a close game, not 25-3. Good God. I turned the game off. I switched to another game. I never do that. I was like, I'm done. I can't do it.
I'm telling you, the surprise for Dallas for me is how bad their offensive line is. I mean, honestly, that was always one of their signatures, and they haven't been great the last couple of years. They've been going down, but I mean, I actually felt bad for the quarterback. I mean, it was just like, oh, crush,
It's
crush.
everything. It's the defense too.
Yeah.
The only solace I have, I guess, is way back when Jimmy Johnson, his first year at the Cowboys, and I believe it was Aikman's first year too, they went 1-15.
Yes.
If I remember correctly. So I'm hoping that, this year's basically tanked and McCarthy learns a lot. I assume Jimmy did, and Jimmy got good draft picks and stuff, and then they just come back strong next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
The Packers, on the other hand, they're kind of in the opposite seat. They went back on the winning track. They're a half game ahead of the Bears. Packers are 5-1. The Bears are 5-2.
right.
And they just need to keep winning. Aaron Rodgers had another really decent week. Devontae Adams had a great game, just a great game. Wish I would have had either of them on my fantasy team, but I didn't. And that's all we can hope for at this point.
So I read an interesting thing, even though this is usually NFL talk. My daughter's a big Clemson fan, as you know, and their star quarterback is Trevor Lawrence. I mean, the kid's only lost one game with Clemson, and it was the championship game against LSU.
Yep.
It amazes me. I mean, the kid's awesome. He's 21. He actually just got engaged last week. He is 6'6". So this dude's 2 inches taller than Thor, because Hemsworth is only 6'4".
Yes.
And I shouldn't even say only, because I'm 5'10", so they're both stacked compared to me. But the point is, this dude is taller than Hemsworth, and he said last year that, after his junior year, he was going to go into the draft and, skip his senior year. Why take a chance on getting hurt? He's going to be the number 1 pick. Well, I just saw a headline today that said he might be changing his mind. So I click on the article because, they pull you in with the headlines. I click on the article and he doesn't come right out and say it. But as of right now, the Jets are going to be the number 1 draft pick if the season ended today, and they're 0-7. So needless to say, they would probably draft him.
Yep.
So Trevor apparently said that in the past couple days that, I'm thinking about it. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might stay for my senior year.
I hear backtracking.
How is that? I mean, I guess that's better than what
Eli Manning.
Eli Manning.
I knew you were going to say that. At least he didn't get his dad involved yet.
Yeah, I know. Daddy, I don't want to go to the Chargers.
Let's let Phillip Rivers do it.
Yeah, I want to go to the Giants.
That is just an interesting conundrum, though. I mean, maybe he's sitting there going, well, we'll just wait and see. If the Cowboys continue to get really bad, maybe the Cowboys will be in the hunt for the first or second draft choice.
Well, the funny thing is, I actually said to Courtney, I told her, I said, I'm fine if the Cowboys tank the season and then draft Trevor Lawrence. And she's like, oh, what about Dak Prescott? And I said, I love Dak, but Dak doesn't have a long-term deal in place. And you got to see how he heals up.
Yeah.
He had a gruesome injury. Some players come back from that stuff. Some don't. Look at was it RG3, Robert Griffin III?
Yeah.
He had a stellar, was it just 1 year at the Redskins or was it 2 when he hurt himself?
2. Wasn't very long.
And then he hurts himself bad and he just never, no pun intended, recovered from it.
Right.
So, I like Dak, but at the same time, you got to look at the big picture. And Dak's on his, what's he on his fourth year, I think.
Yeah.
So, you just got to look at it. And yeah, if Dak can't come back healthy and they can't agree to terms and stuff, and if their season does suck so bad, yeah, I'd be fine
That's
with
just it.
that.
It's a contract year, but well, what are we gonna do? We'll wait and see how it plays out. All I know is I already had to pick up a couple of players for next week just to field the team. So yeah, we'll wait and see. So anyway, yep. Well, Andy, you're in 8th spot. I'm in 10th, and it
Dennis,
is what
do
it
you
is.
predict one moving up next week?
No,
No.
even if I won, I'm still 2 games back
Oh,
of the
that's
ninth
right.
place.
Even
Yeah,
if
I've
you
got no
win,
chance.
you have one game. You have no chance. Yeah.
Yeah, I will be out of the playoffs for the first time probably since I started fantasy football. I'm trying to think if there was ever another season where I didn't make the cutoff, but yeah, this has just been abysmal. But oh well. On the flip
Oh, well.
side, outside of football, it is New Comic Day.
It is. What did the boys get? What did the boys get? I gotta hire somebody
Yeah,
to do a jingle. What
yeah,
did
we
the
should.
boys get?
We know somebody. We'll
We
have
do.
to we'll have to do that.
I
So
won't
Andy,
talk.
why don't you kick us off and see what
All right. Well, two books came out that I was looking very, very forward to. One is Fantastic Four Antithesis #3. It's that limited series that we talked about, the first and second issue. We reviewed them by Mark Waid, Neil Adams, Mark Farmer, and Laura Martin. So this just came out today. So obviously we can't do a review today, but we will review #3 in the future. So I got that because once again, always looking forward to that. Flip through it, looks good.
yeah, it does.
I know that's an overlap book for us.
Yep, it is.
I actually picked up Spawn 311 because Todd did a tribute cover to Chadwick Boseman. I'll post a picture of it up on our Facebook page when the podcast drops, so you can see it. It's Chadwick.
It looks
wearing
cool.
Spawn. What's that?
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's Chadwick in the Spawn costume with his head down and his arms crossed in a Wakanda Forever. And instead of the skull on the center of his waist where the chain comes from, it's the Black Panther. So that's cool. So I picked that up, and I'm so jonesing to read this. Batman 3 Jokers #3.
Here's the finale. This is what we've been waiting for.
I have not. And this is a first because usually I pick a book up off the rack, even if it's one I know I'm getting, and I flip through it. Besides looking at the first page, just to look at the first page, I have not flipped through it because I want to just take it for what it is because we love this series so much. We've reviewed issues 1 and 2. We'll definitely review #3 hopefully next week after we both read it. But I can't look forward more to tonight than reading that. And don't tell my wife I said that because it's also my 25th anniversary, and she probably thinks I'm looking forward to tonight more for that.
That's right. By the way, happy anniversary.
Yeah, you got me by a year.
I know. Very proud of that. But I didn't have 3 Jokers come out on my anniversary. Yeah, so if it did come out on my anniversary, I'm going to be honest, I probably would have snuck away and read it quick. I mean, I can't say that for all the comics, but for this one, yeah, I'm telling you, that 3 Jokers, I hope it doesn't let us down because this has been a phenomenal series so far, and I'm crossing my fingers. I didn't even crack it open to look at it.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's how important it is that I don't want anything spoiled. So
Yeah. No, I've got a similar list now. I didn't pick up Spawn, although I might yet. I may kick it around and go pick it up. We had a couple of true believers, Black Widow
yeah.
again. And, that's always good. And then she came out with, Black Widow, the Widow Sting this week. So
Yep.
that looks pretty interesting. I'm going to give that a shot. We all know Dawn of X, Volume 9, that kind of came out this week. The Antithesis, yeah, looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's good. Um, uh, you
And
know,
you mean sort of? Do you mean wait?
the Dawn
Sort
of X,
number 11?
Volume 9, yeah.
No, it's number
No,
11. They're one shots. Number 11 that came out.
yeah, it was listed as Dawn of X Volume 9.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually didn't get that one shot because since I've only read the first one shot that kicked everything off for that sort of X,
yeah.
and then I read the X-Men issue because I get X-Men every month. I didn't want to pick up that next part because I'd be totally lost. And like I said, I'm just going to read it as a collection. So
Yeah, yeah. I one that I was going to pick up, and I still may. They had Wonder Woman 765 that came out, but it's the Joshua Middleton card stock cover, and it's just an interesting picture. I like it. So I haven't been reading Wonder Woman, but again, sometimes art draws me in, and I do like his covers, and it looks pretty interesting. So I might. I did pick up Canto 2. So the next one came out in that. So
is that
yeah,
that video game thing? What's Canto?
yeah, yep, yep. So I'm gonna wait till it's finished before maybe give a quick review on that one because I'll read that just like we've been doing in the other one. So yeah, it was a fairly small week for me this week, but yeah, it looks good. But yeah, it's gonna be three Jokers and then the Fantastic Four Antithesis. That's gonna be my first two.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little movie news.
I know there's been some good news this week.
So apparently, Tomb Raider, the reboot Tomb Raider with Alicia Vikander, however you say her name,
Yep.
came out in 2018. I saw it. I thought it was okay. I
Same
wasn't
here.
in love with it, but I thought it was okay. And one of the reasons I was excited to see it was because I really love Walton Goggins, and he was the bad guy in it.
Yes.
And Walton Goggins, plays a great bad guy. So I was in. So I saw it. It's been 2 years from my recollection. I did enjoy it. When I saw they were doing a sequel, I was like, it's Tomb Raider. I'll check it out. And now it's delayed indefinitely.
Yeah, MGM released the little bit of info on it, and you know, not sure. It's got some COVID's really put a crimp on things, and again, I'm kind of in that same ballpark. I love Tomb Raider, so we came out, played some of the video games, liked some of the comics back when it came out, and always been kind of a fan of it. I didn't hate the first one when it came out. I thought it was fine. Um, Again, my wife and I both love Walter Scott. I mean, that's the reason why we really, really saw it. I thought she was fine in it. He was great. The script was mediocre at the time. So, I mean, it was just an okay storyline. And I think that was kind of the problem. I would have seen this one if it came out. It probably would have been one. All right, Andy, we'll do it on a Thursday night movie and then review it. But it was nothing that was gripping me, yelling at me, you need to see this immediately.
Well, and the thing that surprises me is, it says that, the sequel's delayed indefinitely. So it was supposed to come out March 19th, 2021. Now, reading through this article about it, it doesn't even say if it's finished filming. So is it, I mean,
They're calling it a theatrical delay, and that's all they're saying. So it hasn't been canceled.
No. It's
as
just
of right
weird.
now. But there's no release date in sight, so they didn't say we postponed it for 3 months or 6 months, or anything like that.
I mean,
They hadn't started filming it yet. So all I can say is, yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but it's one that I'm not going to lose a lot of sleep over. but I hope it comes out because eventually I would like to see it.
Well, I think it's done filming though, because I mean it says directed by, not going to be directed by. So it seems like it's done filming. So yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't definitely do that. I did find this interesting. Now, a movie that came out, I thought it was when did The Meg came out? That was 2019, I believe.
Yeah.
Which I loved it. I love shark movies. I've read the Meg novels by Steve Alton. I've talked to him a few times, and I was so excited to see the movie finally get made. Well, the Meg 2, as it says, sinks its teeth into Tomb Raider 2 director Ben Wheatley. So they snagged up that director to helm the sequel to the Meg. So that I'm excited about.
Well, MGM, it says MGM has not started filming yet or set a production start date for Tomb Raider 2. So they have not filmed, nor have they even set a production start date now.
Oh, I'm gonna hedge my bet that movie's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, that may be a good bet, but New Mutants came out. There's hope.
Oh man, follows that model. March. Then it goes to, they don't even speculate what the next date could be. And like you said, it hasn't even started filming yet. So,
yeah.
Oh, well, there goes that. So if anybody had their hopes up for Tomb Raider 2, knock them back down. But get your hopes up for the Meg 2, because I'm more excited about that. And that was actually 2018 as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The Meg 2, obviously Jason Statham is back in it. So that's cool. I mean, most of the cast is back.
Yep. Yep. I'm looking forward. I'm hoping that it all works out, because I love the Meg 1. It was a fun movie. Yeah.
I mean, it was over the top, ridiculous stuff, but it was fun. That's a great way to put it. So,
well, we did get some interesting Disney news that came out in terms of the Marvel Universe this week.
Yes, we did.
So, for those of you who haven't heard yet, which there's probably like 6 of you, Disney Plus announced that they found its director for Moon Knight, and that they're in talks, and it looks like they're going to get Oscar Isaac to headline as Moon Knight. So, I sat there. I like him as an actor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, so that was kind of my take on it right away, was I like him as an actor. And, we all know him as Poe Dameron, and he was, in Apocalypse, X-Men Apocalypse.
Right.
And he can act.
Oh, yeah.
I am picturing, Mark Spector and all the cool stuff that just finished up. We just finished this up, in the Avengers title, the Return of the Moon Knight stuff. It was a great, 4 issues. And I'm trying to picture putting him as Mark Spector.
Tough.
I'm going to be honest. I'm having a difficult time with it.
So am I, because I don't know, like you said, he's a good actor, but visually it's not what I think of. And I think part of it is because there was, I guess, rumors, the best word for it, or maybe just fan hype that, oh my God, Keanu Reeves would be good for it. Keanu Reeves would be good for it. So I kind of get that visual in my head of Keanu Reeves, and even with like the way he looks in John Wick with the haircut, because I think the facial hair he has going on in John Wick, the goatee and stuff would work, and kind of not clean shaven around the goatee. Just cut his hair some, because he wears a full face mask, so you can't see anything but his, you can't even see his eyes. They'd be glowing if they do that. So it could be because I already had kind of that visual because people threw his name out there. I don't know. Once again, it's one of those things, I always go back to Michael Keaton and Batman. When they announced Michael Keaton, everybody was like, Michael Keaton? What? Mr. Mom as Batman? What? Yep. And nobody could picture, and I couldn't picture it.
Well, see, and I was thinking the same thing, but I was on the Ben Affleck side when they said Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, and I was like, no, and I don't know if he could pull off Batman or if he could pull off Bruce Wayne. He wound up being an absolutely phenomenal Bruce Wayne and a really solid Batman, so he proved a lot of us wrong on that. So you can't discount it. Again, it's just hard to picture. But then again, how Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie. None of us pictured it being a good movie, and it just became one of my favorites. So you never know what they're going to do with it.
And I think a lot of it is we're so tied to the actor as Poe that's how that's how I picture him. Like I've seen Keanu Reeves in so many different roles and in just regular stills in real life that I can envision him in different things, but I know this guy mostly from Star Wars, and when I picture him, I picture Poe, right?
Right.
And you know that obviously as Moon Knight, they're going to totally different hair, different, everything. He'll carry himself differently because it's a different character. So, not counting it out. I did read too that they might be bringing in two of Marvel's big horror icons into the series as well. One is Werewolf by Night, and the other is Dracula. Could be in.
See, and that would be really cool.
Werewolf by Night, I think would be cool. I'm not sold on Dracula.
I don't know. I think if you're going to go into, and I always call them the universal monsters. If you're going to go in there, I think you can make them all work. If you're going to dip your toe into one, just jump in and do them all. But we'll see. Obviously, for comic book fans, Werewolf by Night 32 was the first appearance of Moon Knight. That's where he made it. So to me, I mean, for any Moon Knight fan, that's just a really cool thing that they're doing there. We'll see how they work it out. What I found interesting was that Clash director, Mohammed Diab, they got him to direct it right after announcing that they got Oscar Isaac to play Moon Knight. So I'm wondering if there isn't some relationship where they needed they were trying to work up a particular angle because he's joining the showrunner, Jeremy Slater, and writer Bo DeMeo. So again, I think it's going to be a solid cast. I'm having a hard time with them as Moon Knight, as Mark, but I think they can do it. I'll be curious to see how they do it. That's what I'm interested in. So I'm not poo-pooing this on any stretch of the imagination because I want Moon Knight to be made, but I'm really curious about how they're going to portray him. And this could be great, but time will tell. That was cool news, though.
Yeah. Well, regardless, I'm looking forward to it because I love Moon Knight, and I'm very curious to see Marvel bring their basically Batman, because that's what I see him as, to live action. So
yeah.
So Dennis, I know you and Susie, your wife, are making your way through Dexter, right?
Yep, we are.
See, funny thing. So, obviously before the show, we talked about what we're going to go over. I thought Dennis already saw Dexter. So I was like, well, we have to talk about the Dexter, not reboot, but revival that Showtime's going to be doing. They announced the order of 10-episode revival of a season of Dexter, which I am so excited about. But the funny thing is, I totally forgot Dennis never saw the season finale or the series finale. And how far into it are you?
Far enough where we were getting there. And then, of course, it came up and we started looking because I had heard about it and I was kind of excited because it would be really cool if I finished this off and they got new stuff pouring in right away. Right. I figured when it was done. So we're just getting caught up. And then, of course, I wound up seeing the article and there's the ending. So damn it.
It's funny because it totally. So for people that don't know about Dexter is played by Michael C. Hall. That's where I discovered him acting wise. And his dad knew growing up. His dad was a cop that basically adopted him when he was young. his dad could tell that Dexter wasn't right in the head. So, because he liked to kill stuff. So basically his dad taught him how to do stuff like that and get away with it. But he taught him a code. And the code is basically, look, to feed your psychopathic urges to kill, you can only do it to people that you know are guilty of something that would be basically death penalty stuff. And he basically taught him how to get away with it, the kill room, all that stuff.
Just kill the bad guys. Basically,
Just kill the bad.
If they deserve it, that's what you're going to do. Kind of protect the good guys.
Right.
And it's a really interesting show. Jennifer Carpenter's his sister Deborah, and of course now I didn't know the ending of this either, and I was like, oh, son of a, and we love her. The girl who says the F word more than anybody in TV history. She's the bomb. She is the bomb. Love her. This show, I didn't think I was going to like it. And we did. And same thing with my wife. We were both going to be like, well, let's try it because we keep hearing how good the show is. And it just is. The cast is great, and we're getting there. Well, now that they're releasing that, they're coming back. The one thing that I heard from all my Dexter friends who talked me into this, and yes, you guys have all talked me into it, was the ending sucked. Phenomenal show, but the ending sucks so bad everybody was upset. And I was like, okay. So we weren't in a rush to see the ending just because it was sucky. So we enjoyed so much. So anyway, we're going to finish it. And now we've got something forward to look to. And they're going to pick it up because it is a revival and not, so it looks like they're going to pick it up where it left off.
It's good, and it leaves off with basically Jennifer Carpenter's character, his sister Deb is in a coma, and Dexter just doesn't want her to basically go that way. So he takes her body from the hospital and drops it into the ocean.
Spoiler alert.
Hey, this show wrapped how many years ago?
I know.
Sorry, Dennis.
I know.
Dumps her vegetative body into the ocean, and he rides off into a hurricane. And it would have been neat if that's how the show ended, but it's not. Then they show the wreckage of the boat, and his girlfriend, Dexter's girlfriend, who's also a serial killer named Hannah, discovers it. They just assume he's dead. They have Dexter's son, or she has Dexter's son to look after, but then it shows Dexter basically is in a logging town. So I assume that's where it'll pick up.
So, and everybody's been kind of saying already, the new season could take a really horrible series finale. I mean, everybody I heard was so upset about it. And then they could make it it could turn it into a really cool cliffhanger, which like, oh my God, this is how it ended. And everybody was upset and like, haha, gotcha.
Yeah, but there's no bringing Deb back.
Hey, maybe it could be like a superhero movie. They can find a way.
He throws her in, and the water just wakes her up out of her vegetative state, and she crawls out. She
rises out of the ocean like the phoenix.
Yeah, except if I remember the ending right, and I haven't seen the ending in years. I think he wrapped her up pretty tight, so I'm not quite sure. Even if she woke up, she'd be able to get out of it. But I don't know. We'll see. Right. I'm looking forward to it because I was upset when it went off the air. So, because I didn't think it ran its course yet. It was one of those shows that I believe, like Seinfeld, want to go out on a high note, but like Seinfeld, the series finale left people with a blah taste in their mouth.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Oh well, let's hope. I'm excited to hear about the revival. So, looking forward to it. Let's go showtime.
Hey, I just read this. This will be new to you, Dennis. I did not realize they were making a remake of Children of the Corn. Were you?
Okay, I didn't know it was greenlit. I had heard they would, and I kind of did one of my forehead slaps. Like, really? Why would you need to make we'll call it a reboot?
Right.
again, it would be something. Well, the first one, it was very cool, and we've talked a little bit about the horror movies and stuff, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, wait. Here's the funny part. The
Okay.
film quietly finished filming amidst the coronavirus pandemic and debuted theatrically October 23rd to 2 smaller theaters located in Sarasota, Florida.
Oh my God! Well, I was going to say we're not in Florida. How did we not hear about this?
I know. It's just, I'm reading one of these other articles and I see that while we're talking. I'm like, well, I got to talk about that. So yeah, it's out, which I assume that means it'll be coming to video on demand soon, since, it came out just about a week ago. Who knows if it's going to get into any more theaters, but I would have went to see it.
Well, I remember the original, and it was somewhere around like 1984. I mean, it was right into that. We were talking about some of those other movies. The Ring. And those. Nightmare on Elm Street. It was after Halloween, and all
Right.
those good movies. And I still remember Children of the Corn. It was creepily good. Yeah, I don't really know about this remake, so yeah, we're gonna have to do a little digging into this.
Here's some other nice news that'll get you kind of excited. Spider-Man 3's filming. Filming has started.
I know. Crossing my fingers. Come on, Tom Holland.
That's right. Filming has started. So I'm excited. It's filming in New York. I'm just excited. I want things to get back on track.
Yep. Well, let's see. We've got the elections coming up. We've got the meteor that's going to maybe hit the Earth. Yeah, we should be just about done with all the bad stuff. So hopefully everything gets back to normal at the end of the year here.
Yeah. And
assuming the meteor doesn't put a crimp in our at the end of the year here.
So Spider-Man 3 is supposed to drop on December 17th, 2021.
Yep.
Which
Mandalorian comes out in just a couple of days.
Yeah, Mandalorian's Friday, isn't it? It comes out that October, the 30th. So so
very much looking forward to Mandalorian right now, and seeing where they go with it. All the rumors that are out there about who Baby Yoda is and what's going on. So I can't wait to see if how all of this pans out. So Mandalorian's coming up. So make sure everybody tunes in for that.
Yeah, we'll be able to chat about that. I think that looking at the checklist, Boys season finale was a few weeks ago. We've had so much other stuff to talk about. We've neglected to talk about The Boys season 2.
Yep.
I gotta say, for a second season, I rank it higher than the first season overall.
And I didn't think I was going to, but that ending was phenomenal.
Well, they introduce Stormfront.
Yes.
As the new. Well, she blazes onto the scene in The Boys, and there's going to be some spoilers, not too many though, because we're just going to recap the season. She blazes onto the scene to be a new member of the Seven, and basically replaces. Oh my God, I'm blanking on the speedster's name now.
A-Train.
A-Train replaces A-Train because he's having side effects from now I'm blanking on the name of the drug. What's the stuff he was shooting up?
V.
V, that's it. Yeah, V. Duh. So he's having side effects from that. So he's out. The Deep is out. So she's in, and I don't want to give too many spoilers away because I think it's such a good show that people need to watch it. We'll just say that she won't be in season 3.
All I could say was the ending where Stormfront takes this season, and Homelander's the Superman of the group. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Stormfront comes in, and she is this badass, super powered chick who has all of these abilities and cool, and you find out she's just not a nice person. We were thinking she's going to be the counter to Homelander, and in
Yeah.
reality, she's just as bad, if not worse. And she goes all the way back to the World War II era, and we find out how old she is. And there's so many cool things that they do with her, and the relationship with Homelander and his son, and then the wife, and then of course, which all ties into Carl Urban's character Billy Butcher, and the dynamics between all the different characters this season. I loved it in season 1. I didn't think they'd be able to improve, but honestly, they did. And the ending was so great in there. I really want there to be a season 3 right now. I don't even want to wait for it.
No. Well, and needless to say, there was a big climactic fight in the season finale, which was choreographed very well. The special effects, I tell you, with TV these days, movies, if your sole thing is, yeah, I'm trying to think the best way to word it. You remember the time when it was, well, movies can do this, TV can't, when it came to special effects because the technology and the budgets, right?
Right.
So you knew if you were watching a TV show to expect something less. You just knew it, but you accepted it because it's a TV show. And with movies, you kind of were like, yeah, I got to pay to go see it. It's not exactly cheap, but man, look at the big wow factor and the casting, because movies also had that. You had the actors that were the movie actors and the TV actors. But now there's just so much crossover that you've got movie actors doing TV actors doing movie. The budgets for special effects being done on a computer have dropped down so much that TV shows can now have the same fantastic special effects as movies, that instead of a 2-hour movie, you get, like, I think this season of The Boys was 8 episodes. You get a beautiful 8-hour, episodic tale that the special effects are on par with anything that happened in Avengers,
Right.
Any Marvel movie. The writing is so well done. And the thing I like about Amazon Prime is they don't throw all 8 in your face. So come Monday morning, you're like, well, my weekend was spent watching all 8 episodes of season 2. Now, granted, nobody's putting a gun to my head, but I have no self-control. So I need Amazon to pat me on the head and go, here's your 3. Come back next week for episode 4. Come back the week after that for 5. And it gets me away from TV. I need that, Dennis. I need somebody to take it away from me. I'll keep tapping that vein and pimping it into my arm.
Yep, it's just decent. The cast of characters was solid. You even got Queen Maeve, she's been having her side story, and you've been kind of rooting for her to do something. And Dominic McElligott, she's Irish, and she's the one who plays Queen Maeve, and you're like, you finally see her at the end step up, and it was just epic. I mean, it was just everything about this, like you're saying. This is movie quality stuff in a TV show, and it was well worth it all the way through.
All the characters really do a good job. Like when the show starts in season 1, the face that the heroes put on for the camera, the 7, are all, we're great superheroes. We love everyone, blah, blah, blah. But behind the scenes, Homelander's a raging a-hole, power hungry, and they're all kind of just D-bags, except for, Starlight, who she thought they were all nice until she became part of the group and sees, oh my God. So in season 2, she retains, and she tries to retain the truth of herself. But Homelander doesn't. He doesn't change. I mean, he softens with his son, so that's nice to see. But besides that, he's still pretty much a raging a-hole. Well, you see evolution of the Deep's character, and A-Train to an extent. I definitely think Maeve, you see a big evolution of her character in it. So I like the character arcs that they have for each of them as well.
The one I find most interesting is the Black Noir.
Yeah.
Because he differs, in my opinion, the most from the comic books. And they're building him up to something which is so different from what they did in the comics. So I find it really interesting what they're doing. So I can't read ahead in the comics anymore and say, oh, I wonder what they're going to do, because there's enough of a major difference. And some of the things are right on and other things are completely different. But Black Noir, he's going to be really interesting, in my opinion, in season 3. So love the fact that we're finding out more about him. Not even directly, but just through some of his actions and what the other cast members say, the other characters talk about him.
He doesn't talk.
Right.
So it's easy for the actor because he doesn't have to memorize anything.
Yes.
But at the same time, from a performance standpoint, it's all through body language and stuff. And obviously a lot with the writing to get to know about his past. So I agree with that. He's the Batman of it, basically. So
yeah, we didn't want to spoil a lot on this because I know a lot of people have seen it, and I know there's some people out there that haven't yet finished it, but it's finish it up pretty quickly. I say we give this one of our CGC gradings, one of our comic grades. Season 2 as a standalone.
I mean, as a standalone season 2, I probably go like a 9.2.
Yeah.
I think it was that good. I mean, it's just, and I don't remember what I gave well, we didn't do this with season 1 because we didn't have a show. So it doesn't matter.
Yep. I'm right there with you. I call it a near mint minus, like a 9.2. It was definitely a step up from season 1, but season 1 was thoroughly enjoyable. Love the characters. I love the direction that they're going with them. It looked great. It sounded great. Love the story arcs. I loved a lot about this. So looking forward to season 3.
Sweet. Well, that's our show. We hope everybody enjoyed it. Once again, you can find us on Facebook, Dennis and Andy Show, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube,
and your Amazon devices.
That's right. So until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Until next week, grab your 3D glasses.
Get your favorite comic books, roll them up, and put them in your back pocket the way you should treat comics.
Throw your pigskin up on the mantle. This is Dennis.
This is Andy. Later, friends.